everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Valentina and I read sometimes, and this time I read Normal People by Sally Rooney. This is the third time that I've tried filming this video, not on the same sitting. This is the third day that I tried doing this. The first time I just couldn't speak. The second time it was a big mess and my phone just kept heating up and I just couldn't film because it just stopped filming. So we're trying again. A new method, namely I just put my phone on airplane mode and we will see if it works out. I again am not prepared for this video, so it will be a mess like the last time I tried to make it. But yeah, let's see how I managed to talk about this book. The thing is, I read this book, I wasn't really a fan, but I had just so many thoughts and so many things to say that I just felt like making a video about it. I don't want it to be a rant review or anything, it will be an honest review. I just have some critique points, you know, some stuff that didn't sit well with me that I would like to discuss, because I know that this book has been very well liked. I mean, like, Sally Rooney has won a lot of prizes, like come on, she's well liked in the author world, in the book world. And she also has a TV show. I mean, the book has a TV show, so there must be something here that people are liking, you know? I just am maybe not the target audience, but I don't know. Let's just, you know, come with me, grab a cup of something, and let's talk about Normal People. First off, I will just say some general things on the book, the synopsis, maybe some general thoughts, my rating, stuff like that. And then from this point on, I will put some timestamp somewhere in here. I will just start talking about the book in a unfiltered way, so spoilers will be coming up, but I will let you know when the spoilers start. That was a very long introduction. Let's dive in. Normal People is, to my knowledge or from my understanding, a new adult romance. It's quite a short book. It's 266 pages. I was actually very keen on reading new adult because I feel like I don't really connect anymore with teenagers. Or I mean, you sometimes do, like, come on, YA is good. I just sometimes want to read about people my age so that I can, you know, relate a bit more. I didn't relate with this though, but I'm getting ahead of myself. What is this book about? Normal People focuses on the lives of Marianne and Connell. These are two Irish kids that go to the same school but come from very different social backgrounds. Marianne comes from a wealthy family and has a single mother because her father passed away, and also has a brother, and unnecessary details all at once. And Connell is a only child and has a single mother. I think has never met his dad, and he comes from, let's say, a working class family, and they don't have a lot of money in comparison to Marianne. And Connell's mom works at Marianne's house as the cleaning lady. Connell is a typical popular, well-liked jock in high school, and Marianne is very unpopular, not liked at all. She doesn't have any friends. She just goes to school, minds her own business, does her own thing. She's always alone. Apparently she fights with teachers or something. Like, she's quite opinionated. I think you get what I'm trying to say. She has a lot of opinions. So she's not very well liked, and the wealth factor, I think, if I'm not mistaken, also plays a part in that dislike. The book follows them throughout the years from 2011 until 2015 and focuses on the development of their relationship. They start off being like not liking each other, not being friends. Then they become lovers, and then it's this lovers to friends, friends to lover, will they, won't they sort of situation throughout the years, going from high school to college. And at the very beginning, they start this sort of, not fake dating, but like secret dating. People are not supposed to know that they are seeing each other because it would be like social suicide. And if people find out that Connell is with Marianne, then no one will like him, or they will stop talking to him, or whatever. It's not good, not well seen. It's supposed to be shameful that he's with her, so they keep it a secret. That was the gist of it. Now, how I feel about this book. All right, in Goodreads, I gave it 3 stars. When I finished reading it, I gave it 3.5 in my head, because you're gonna put 3.5 stars on Goodreads. And gave it 3.5 stars in my book journal. But I don't know, the more I think of it, I think I'm leaning more towards a 3. Now, don't get me wrong. The book is readable. You can read it. Enjoyable? I don't know. I mean, it's not that I disliked it while reading it. I wasn't very connected to it. I wanted to know what was going to happen. So, I mean, I guess it kind of kept me hooked. But it was okay. For me, it was just okay. That doesn't mean you shouldn't read it. I wouldn't recommend it or not recommend it. I would leave it to your own. It's your decision, bro. Like, I don't know. This is just one opinion. I wasn't big on it, but it could be that this is your next favorite book. That's about it. That's as general as I can get. So now, if you're willing to, join me in dismantling this book in a spoilery, unfiltered, uncontrolled way. Let's go. First of all, I don't get why Marianne is so disliked. There, I said it. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I don't know. But I just don't get it. Like, why is she so disliked? Whenever I see her interacting with people, she's quite nice, especially in school. She's very nice to other people. She's even quite, like, submissive, sort of. Like when people do stuff to her, she doesn't put up a fight, so to say. I'm not saying that's good. I think she has a very low self-esteem. In certain situations, like with the fact that she's okay with being hidden or being in like a secret relationship because it's an embarrassment that someone is with her, I think that just shows low self-esteem. But yeah, just in general, I feel like she's nice towards other people when relating to other people, and I just don't get why she's so disliked. I feel like I needed some more development there. In general, I feel like Marianne's character is too underdeveloped. She feels flat for me. And they tried to make her complex, putting certain elements into it, but I just feel like they were all just underdeveloped. So hear me out. First is that I don't know why she's so disliked. I'm okay with her, so I don't really believe why she's so unliked. I need to believe it. So first is that. Then the second thing is her whole family relationship dynamics, blah. Apparently her dad was an abusive father who used to hit her and her mother and the brother. He was an abusive fuck. This leaves a trauma behind. We get that too. This trauma, however, is not really explored. And we are supposed to get that, like, understand that trauma through her relationships. Like, we are supposed to read the trauma in her relationships. Like, I would say, like, this lack of self-esteem, like letting people be abusive to her, I think that's where you read the effects of these traumas, or that's where you see it. However, this is also something that wasn't very believable for me, because when she's in college, her first boyfriend apparently is a fascist or a Nazi or something like that. The minute she actually realizes that, the minute Connell points that out, next thing we know, she's no longer with him. So she easily left this dude behind, right? But then she starts dating Jamie, and all of a sudden she sort of forgets this, the fact that she can recognize when someone is an asshole, that this is completely thrown out of the picture, and she starts dating an asshole and dates an asshole for, I don't know, 2 years maybe, and the relationship is not good, and I think she doesn't really like him, but she's still with him. And I don't understand, because I thought if she could so easily leave the first boyfriend, then why is she all of a sudden stuck in this toxic relationship? I thought she knew better than this, And then they introduced the whole submission kink situation. Now, no kink shaming. We support. We, sex positivity and whatnot. But here I feel like, again, I don't believe her own sex positivity and kink positivity. Because when they first introduced this submissive, this BDSM element, this submission element, she says that she doesn't like it, that she only lets Jamie do it because he enjoys it, but she doesn't like it. And then we see how when she's doing this sort of dominant, submissive dynamic with the Scandinavian dude, the Lucas or whatever, she feels humiliated and she doesn't like it and she doesn't feel good and she just exits that situation as soon as she can. And so what I felt throughout reading all of this is that she was feeling abused the whole time and that she was not enjoying this and that she was not happy with this. And then we get to the point where she's about to sleep again with Connell. And what do we see? What do we read? Connell, can you hit me? And then I'm like, bitch, what? Like, where did that come from? Like, this whole time I thought that you didn't like this whole thing. And then all of a sudden I'm supposed to believe that she's into BDSM, being hit, submission, whatever, and that this type of power dynamic in the bedroom is something that she enjoys. But that's not what we were told before. And then now I'm supposed to believe that. So I'm like, I don't really get it. And also, like, I'm not part of the BDSM community, but it just felt a bit like odd, you know, just like, can you hit me, to someone with whom you have had no conversation about this whatsoever, like about what you like and that this is something that you're interested in, if they consent to that, if they are okay with that too, if they're interested in that, like none of this is happening. So it just felt out of place and odd, and I didn't get it. Maybe I was reading another book, bro. Like, maybe I just didn't get it. It just didn't sit well with me. And then about the family dynamics, another thing that just felt off completely was, okay, at the beginning we don't really see much from the brother and from the mother. We don't really hear much from them, from Marianne, mother and brother. And then all of a sudden, she's like so hated in her house. Like, everyone hates her. And the brother can hit her and stalk her and harass her. Harass her is a word, it's not stalk her. Harass her every time she's at home. And the mother is like, basically, you deserve it. Fuck you. And I'm like, but why? I knew that dad was the abusive one. I didn't know that the whole family was abusive. And why? Like, you don't see, I feel like this is just from one moment to the next. Like, from one moment, like, you don't see anything. And then the next, you're just seeing these people harassing her and attacking her and just bullying her in her own house. And I don't know, it just felt also unexplored and underdeveloped. I felt like I needed to see more in order to believe it. To believe this dynamic, I needed to see a bit more. It just felt too blunt and too, like, all of a sudden in your face, this is it, believe it because that's what I say, you know? Just odd. And then to wrap this whole situation up, basically we have Marianne is a flawed person with low self-esteem, with a lot of trauma and baggage that she's carrying, and yet it is never worked. Like, it is never treated. She never goes to therapy. It's never touched upon the topic. It's never discussed that she should get some help and talk about these things and heal, or all of these past traumas and all of these family traumas. Like, it's never discussed. And I don't get why. And people tend to call her a lot crazy in situations where I don't see where the craziness is. Like, I can understand, yeah, the girl is basically fucked up, but in the moments that people are calling her fucked up and crazy, I don't see it. Like, they are just, I think the characters are taking things out of proportion in situations where there's no need, and they are never telling her to look for help in a good way, like in a friendly way. Like, we're friends, you know, I think you should go to therapy, you know, it's good telling your friends that they should go to therapy. We should all go to therapy. But that's besides the point. I bet you might be wondering, why does all of a sudden everything look different? Why does the angle look different? The resolution look different? I probably look different. Well, you can take a guess, or I'll just spoil it for you. My phone died on me. Again. I thought I was done with this video, and turns out my phone decided otherwise, and an 11-minute long video that was supposed to be the last part of this whole thing just was not safe because I didn't have memory. Because apparently when you're filming in 4K, that takes up a lot of space, and I had no idea about it because I guess I am a bit of a boomer with this whole situation of technology and whatnot. So I have to start again. This is day 4, but I'm committed to the cause, so I went back and put the same shirt and the same jewelry, even though this is not what I was wearing today, just for you, just to finish this damn fucking video. So, let's continue. We left off at Marianne's whole situation with therapy, right? That it is never touched upon in a positive light, and she never goes to therapy. And I wanted to transition into Connell. Thing is, Connell is alright the whole time, or most of it. When he's at college, he's struggling because he cannot make friends like he used to. He's not as popular as he used to. And then we see some anxiety, and bam, depression hits. Now, this depression situation is connected to the death of an old friend, a friend that it was no longer a friend because they hadn't talked in like 4 years. And this hits him, and it hits him hard, and he gets depressed. Now, depression obviously comes all of a sudden. It can come out of the blue. But the difference here is he gets depression, he's depressed, he's not all right. And what does his friend do? Tell him to go to therapy, tell him where he can get therapy for free at university. And Connell does it, and he works on himself, and then he gets better, and he's feeling great. Whereas Marianne is just struggling. She's basically anorexic, she's depressed as fuck, plus all of the fucking trauma that she carries, plus the whole family dynamic situation and the shit relationships. And he's like, why can Connell get help and get well, but not Marianne? Why not? And then at the end, Connell gets what we could call a happy ending. He gets and it wasn't a scholarship. I think it was a scholarship or a writing program or a master's. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but he gets something in New York. And Marianne, what does she get? A fucking horrible family. I think Marianne deserved better, and I think she deserved all the help, and she deserved to get better and to have great opportunities and to live a good life. She even had friends finally, and then when she breaks up with Jamie, all of these friends are lost because she was kinky, or supposedly kinky, or not really kinky, but because she let Jamie do things to her. It just, I didn't get it. The bottom line is Marianne deserved better, and she also deserved the help that Connell actually got, and she deserved to just do better. She deserved to grow and be happy. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, I'm a bit tired already, but I've been talking about this for 4 days now. I'm struggling here, help. So, I have 2 more points to mention or to talk about in this video. The first one is that I am not okay with the fact that abuse is okay in this book. Abuse is never problematized, abuse is never talked as such, is never pointed out as something bad and discussed as something that is not okay, and I am not okay with that. Considering the fact that Sally Rooney is a well-read woman, I would have expected her to talk about abuse, or at least to just say abuse is not okay. Like this, the things that Marianne is going through are not okay. And I feel like this is not there. I don't see that. Like, Connell is someone like sometimes sort of saying that things are not okay, but not really. You never see someone explicitly talking about the abuse that is ongoing in this book, and that is never talked about as such, as violence, as abuse, something bad. So that was another problem that I had. And the last thing, to just finally end this video and end my thoughts and just say goodbye to this book, is the ending, of course. The relationship between Marianne and Connell, when it was a friendship, or when the moments they were friends, I thought it was really good. I thought they understood each other. I thought they got each other. I thought that they were good friends and they communicated a lot. But when they were in a relationship, or when they were having sex with each other and being friends with benefits or whatever, they didn't communicate. Whenever things ended with them was because they didn't communicate properly. And then at the end, like right at the end, right before they get back together again, it is clearly stated that they don't belong together, that they are not good together, that they are good friends, but they do not make a good couple. And yet, Connell, with this, I don't know, savior complex, just gets with her, and they are together now, and they're a couple, and I'm like, but you don't work together, you don't even communicate properly. You don't need to be a couple. That just didn't need to be the end of this book. They could have been friends, and that would have been fine. That would have been perfect. And Sally Rooney just decided against it. And I do not stand. I don't stand. We don't stand in this household. We don't stand Connell and Marianne together as a couple. There, I said it. I'm sorry. I think you can tell that I am over this video already. I'm going crazy. There, I said it. Those are my thoughts on Normal People. If you want to read it, go ahead. I don't know if this convinced you to do so. If you read it and you agree with me or disagree with me, if you feel like we read two completely different books, if you feel like I'm dumb and I just didn't get the book, let me know in the comments below. Let's talk, let's discuss. I want to know how you felt, how if you liked it, if you thought that, I don't know, if you saw things differently than I did. I want to know. I just want to talk about this book with you in the comments, not in a video form. Not anymore, please. I just want to be done with this. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be filming when I'm tired. I think mostly I'm just tired of this video. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!